Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. It is Monday. That means it is Movie Monday here in the Huntsville Attic. Today we're talking about Captain America, Winter Soldier. That's right, everybody. Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani, Bullard.
And this is
Brooks. And
we are talking today about Captain America, Winter Soldier. Continuing our MCU Rewatch into Phase 2. We've had Iron Man 3, pretty decent. Thor 2, we weren't that in. What do we think about Captain America 2 Winter Soldier? I love this film. I think it's one of the best of the MCU. I think this movie is so solid structurally. I think it's so solid dramatically with the right amount of humor, a lot of action, and like high octane action, like amazing action scenes, lots of character stuff on Nick Fury, on Captain America, on the Winter Soldier, on Black Widow. So much stuff hit every single nail right on the head for me. I love this movie so much. When I first saw it, I thought it was okay. I saw all the problems. And sometimes you get this bias when you go into a film. And at the time, I was very biased against MCU for some reason. I don't remember what I think it was The Dark World. I was like, these movies aren't that great. Iron Man 3 is great, but Thor, this movie's okay. But the more I watch this film, the better and better it becomes. It is so solid to me. I love this film. Jelani, what do you think about The Winter Soldier?
Man, it made, like, at this point, I was kind of like you. I was like, this is kind of weak. But I was expecting this film. Like, the trailer gave me enough to make me want to go see it. So I was like, all right, I'll try this out. And then I actually watched that film from beginning to end and was blown away. The fight scenes are impeccable. Chris Evans is at his best in this film. It's like spy espionage. And it shows that Marvel has depth of what they're trying to do with films. They show different themes of just corruption and how Hydra has taken over the just S.H.I.E.L.D. in so many different ways. Like, there's so much stuff that carries over from the first movie to this movie.
Yes.
And Captain America is like, he still has his rose-colored glasses on, but he still does those dark ops missions. He knows that there are threats out there that he can stop. And they put him to work. S.H.I.E.L.D. puts him to work. And you see a darker tone. You see a villain that you don't see coming. You don't know what's going to happen. And you don't know how deep this has been until it's too late. And it's way too late. And I really wish that they had carried this stuff over into the other films a little more. Just a little more. But, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it made that show better.
Yeah, this is a movie that made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. better.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. better. Yeah. Like, they really should have
right as Bill Paxton was making it better, then this movie hits.
Right,
absolutely.
This movie
I get what you're saying.
So, I love this film. It's a great film on top of what Marvel had already done. It blew all of that out of the water. The Russo brothers just...
Yes, directed by the Russo brothers, who are now like the guys at the MCU. Obviously, they are directing the upcoming Infinity War. In fact, the movie why we are doing this MCU rewatch. Of course, The Winter Soldier was an idea that was conceived by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting, first appearing in the Captain America books around 2005, 2006. And it was the idea that Bucky had been this like sidekick, and he was one of the only comic book characters that had ever stayed dead. Mm-hmm. For decades.
There are rules.
For decades.
For the death.
Yeah. You don't bring back Uncle Ben, Bruce Wayne's parents, and Bucky. Those were these guys are staying dead no matter what. Ed Brubaker had the gall to bring back Bucky as the Winter Soldier, create this whole past. And in the comic,
was really good.
And it was awesome. So good. And in the comic books, it's the communists that have him, right? It's Russia. That's why he's the Winter Soldier and all that stuff.
He's got the Red Star.
Exactly. In this movie, it's Hydra, the Red Star thing that doesn't make sense. The Winter Soldier name doesn't make sense. Who cares, though? Because the character is still right there, what he's supposed to be.
He's
brainwashed.
Assassin.
He's an assassin.
Yeah.
Cap. Using Cosmic Cube in the comic books, gets him to remember everything, and it's very, very dramatic. And I think they capture that dramaticness, that tragedy, the friendship that they built very thinly in First Avenger just develops into this beautiful relationship in this movie and in the next film, Civil War. So I love this film. Jelani loves this film. Brooks, what do you think about Winter Soldier, man?
I love Winter Soldier. Well, I would before Civil War came out, I would have said it was the best Captain America movie.
Oh, whoa! Spoilers! You think? Whoa!
And it's one of the best MCU movies, I think.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just everything works in it. Like it just all comes together right, you know. And Captain America, Chris Evans, he's still, you know, just as good as he was in Avengers in the first movie. And but he has more, you know, he has a better story, I think, because the first one had to spend a lot of time, you know, setting him up, you know, how he got to where he was. And Avengers, he had to share the screen with, like, you know, all these other characters. But in this one, you really get to focus on Captain America and how he works in the here and now. But even then, like, his past kind of comes back to haunt him in this movie.
In Avengers, we had a lot of Captain America coming to terms and grips with being in the 21st century, from 1945 or 44, whatever it was, leading into this film. This film really, Avengers dealt with that a lot of the humorous bits, a lot of like feeling out of place, but this movie really gets into it.
It really does.
And it really deals with, like that scene with him and Peggy is heartbreaking when she's sitting there in the hospital, and then in the middle of it she forgets everything and like, oh, you're alive, Steve, and like it will tug at your heart. All the nod backs to the original film when they go back to the Lehigh Stadium, to the museum, and not to the stadium, but to the base, where he went there to train, right? Mm-hmm. And you see when they go to there and they see where they first build S.H.I.E.L.D., which is in the Agent Carter show, and they have the picture of Howard Stark and Tommy Lee Jones and Peggy Carter, and I love all those callbacks to the first film. This truly is a great sequel. And it's probably the best part 2 up to a point. It's one of the best part 2s of a Marvel Cinematic Universe film. It's one of the best sequels ever.
Up to a point?
Yes, up to a point.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about another film. We'll get to that in a few weeks. But I had to think about that, because at first I was like gung ho to say like this is the best number 2, and then I was like, whoa, wait a second, I gotta rewatch a couple. Anyway. Seriously, though, Winter Soldier is so good. Chris Evans is a big part of that. You were mentioning how he had more of a character arc in here, because now you got the character, who Steve Rogers is, and how he becomes Captain America, and how he winds up in the present day. All that's out of the way. Now it's Cap dealing with modern-day issues, and I think it works so well. What do you think about that, Brooks? Chris Evans in particular,
the core of like a character like Captain America, you know, he's so wrapped up in the patriotism and like, you know, he's a soldier, so like, you know, he should follow orders. But, you know, in reality, he's not like that at all. He always questions. He always wants to know why. He isn't just a mindless, you know, go here and do this because he's told to do it, you know, type of soldier. He has his own set of values, what he believes, you know, what he believes in.
Yes.
And he's not going to like compromise them just because, you know, someone tells him, someone, you know, in a red, white, and blue, or a 4-star general or whatever, just tells him to do it, you know.
Does Chris Evans
he feels he has an obligation to live up to what people see him as.
Does Chris Evans encapsulate that characteristic to you?
Oh yeah, I think so. And he's very good at that being confused, you know, feeling like, you know, he's out of place.
Yeah, absolutely. Jelani, what do you think about Chris Evans in the role and the role itself in this movie?
Yeah, he grows in this. First Avenger, like you said, you get the first part of the story out of the way. It needed to be told. This is the modern day him trying to like readjust to the world and to get like his foot in sand, and like Falcon that he meets, Sam Wilson. Their chemistry is amazing. Like he's just running, and Captain America's just running as fast as he can.
On your left.
They have a meet cute.
It was awesome. So I really liked the dynamic for them. And he's learning how to adjust in the world that he's in now, and it's a lot of gray. It's a whole lot of gray.
And it's something that is so just inconceivable to him, being from the 40s.
Yeah, he has no idea what he's completely fish out of water, but at the same time, he knows what needs to be done, and he still executes it well in this film. Like, dealing with Nick Fury, dealing with everything that's happening in this film. I think Chris Evans does a brilliant job. Initially, I thought he was perfect for Captain America. I'll say it again, because even before they were like, yeah, it's Chris Evans. He was the Human Torch, and I was like, Human Torch. But I liked Human Torch in the Fantastic Four films, and he's so far. In fact, I will say that Captain America is the greatest arc in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I definitely think it's the best trilogy.
It's the best trilogy.
The best trilogy at this moment.
Far.
At this moment, is the best trilogy. Absolutely.
You're waiting for your third film out of your favorite film, aren't you?
GOTG. Anyway, but you were mentioning Falcon.
Yeah.
And he's got all these other people there. You got Black Widow in this movie. You got Nick Fury in this movie. All the S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff.
There's so much stuff!
But Falcon, Anthony Mackie, as Falcon, as Sam Wilson, is a shining, brilliant star in this film. Jelani, explain to me why you love him so much. What do you think about
He's better than Cheadle.
Mackie in the role? He's a better sidekick than Cheadle.
Yeah,
he's not really a sidekick though, because I love
he's
that.
He's a main character. He's an Avenger.
I love
he will become an Avenger.
Yeah, but I love how Steve and Sam come to me.
They bond. They're just annoyed.
They bond because they're both veterans.
They're both veterans. They both have their same struggle. They're both like they've been in the shit, both of them, and they bond.
Yes,
because of it, and that's a military bond that works really well in the film, and it's a friendship, and it's played like that in the comics as well. Yeah. Sam Wilson is Steve Rogers' best friend,
and Mackie and Evans nail that chemistry.
Whoa. They nailed it.
What do you think about Falcon in the movie? His chemistry with Chris Evans.
I thought it was a bromance. It was good. It made sense that they would kind of get along, considering they both been through kind of the same experience. And just in different time periods. And I like how when he asked him, like, I bet you missed the good old days. And he's like, well, it's not so bad now. We used to boil everything.
Yeah, back then the food's better. We used to boil everything.
The internet, that's real helpful.
Yes, absolutely.
So he doesn't over romanticize the good old days,
Yeah, it's a great chemistry between those two, and I will agree with you, Jelani. Like, it's better than the chemistry between Cheadle and Downey Jr.
Yeah,
like it just works. It works really well. It's believable. It takes a character, and in only a seriously less than 100 words, they build their friendship.
Yeah.
On your lap.
Perfectly.
On your lap. Don't you say it. On your. They built it right there. And then when he comes and says, and you meets him, he says, "We
just
need
the running, just the fact that Captain America is like super serum running."
In film, in music, in life, in anything, less is more. Mm-hmm. If you could take one thing ever of wisdom from me, it's less is more in every part of your life. The Captain America script for Winter Soldier, there's so much in it, but less is more. They tell it so efficiently. I absolutely love it. What do you think about Falcon's suit? Does it work?
Yeah, man.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Ultimate Falcon.
It's like a flight. Yeah, it's a flight suit. The way they explain is perfect. I'm glad he didn't have a talking bird.
Yeah.
That
would not have worked.
Telepathic bird. I'm glad that didn't happen. Thank you. So
Jelani wants a magical Mandarin, but not a flying bird.
No!
Not a talking
bird.
Talking birds, that's where we draw the line. No Pet Avengers movie.
That's right. Yeah, if it happens, yay. But no.
I guarantee you Thor will be turned into a frog.
Be made into a movie.
Yay.
You like the way it looks. It looks good.
It looks good.
What about you? You like the way Falcon looks?
Yeah, I liked Falcon. He was a cool character, and he fit in with Cap and Soldier.
Yeah.
He's like, I like and he said he used to fly, and then Steve's like, I thought you flew an airplane. He's like, I never said that.
Yeah, I thought you said you were a pilot. You never said that.
Never said that.
Never. Fury, S.H.I.E.L.D., and Hydra. Let's talk about that. Because first of all, the action scenes in this movie are insane, right?
Yes.
Right?
Mm. Yes.
They're insane. The action scene when Fury is being attacked after he goes and meets Pierce, who is Robert Redford,
Robert Redford.
Secretary of State, I guess is what he's supposed to be.
No, he was he was Secretary of State.
Was it State?
Yeah, I think he was Secretary of State.
They called him Secretary, and he had something.
He was a politician.
Yeah,
he was
I can never
Secretary of
tell.
We thought the helicarrier looked cool. 4 of them look even better, including the Triskelion.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
That was perfect.
Oh, there's so much in this movie as
There's
Marvel
a lot in
fans
this
that we were
movie.
so excited to see.
So much
The
shit.
action being a big part of that. The way Cap moves in that opening scene when he's going after the hijacked ship. Oh my! The elevator scene
Batroc
with
the
Crossbones, Batroc, who is Saint Pierre or whatever.
Georges Saint Pierre.
Yeah, the
he's
UFC
MMA,
fighter, right?
yeah,
MMA
yeah.
guy, right? Okay, so we got that. So, but that scene when Fury's getting they're coming after Fury, he's in his car.
Yeah.
What is working? Air conditioning units are fully operational.
Yeah.
That whole scene is so amazing.
It's perfect.
This movie is serious.
It's great.
It's intense, and it's got those brief moments of humor that really accentuate everything and just
It's the opposite
provide the
of Thor:
perfect
The Dark
relief.
World.
What do you think about Fury in this movie? Samuel Jackson. I think he had more. I think this is his movie to shine so far in the
This
MCU.
was his movie to shine.
This is his movie to shine.
And you never saw him active after this movie because basically
He's in Age of Ultron for a little
he
bit, right?
dies. Yeah, but that's like the first season,
We'll get to that in
and it's
a couple weeks.
wait, we're doing Agents of Shield.
Age of Ultron. He's barely in
awesome.
Agents of
Yeah,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
he's barely in this now.
Yes, but
He's not really,
Winter Soldier,
but because
he's there.
of this, because of what happens in Winter Soldier, you don't see Nick Fury as the face of Shield anymore, and it's that he stays he's murdered, apparently,
Yeah,
but it's not true.
not true.
And
I got ink all over me. What
why
am I
are you
doing
mocking
here?
yourself?
I don't know.
But Nick Fury is brilliant in this film. The interplay with him in the car is amazing. I want that. I need that thing in my life. Like, if I had a car that cool,
Yeah.
we're set.
There's a comic book that
But,
came out in the 80s called Nick Fury vs. S.H.I.E.L.D. And this movie is based on that Winter Soldier story about Ed Brubaker and that Nick Fury vs. Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. story. What do you think about Fury in this movie? Like Samuel Jackson, this is his moment
movie.
to shine in the MCU,
Yeah,
man, and he does it exceptionally well, in my opinion. What do you
Yeah,
think?
he gets to do a lot more than stand around and give orders in this movie.
Right.
A lot more than he did. He did a bit in Avengers, but in this one is the one where he really has to. He's in a tight spot and he has to get out. And you see, this is how Nick Fury gets out of tight spots.
Damn, boys.
Yeah.
We're in a tight spot. All right. Shield Hydra. What? Shield is Hydra. Hydra was Shield.
Who knew that?
Throwback to the first film. Hydra was never mentioned except for only in that first Captain America movie. Right? Really? And you find out, and this is something that comes from Jonathan Hickman's Secret Warriors book. So it's comic book accurate. I think it's a great revelation. I think it works very, very well.
Yeah.
What about the revelation that S.H.I.E.L.D. is Hydra? And I think it's Secretary Alexander Pierce, played by Robert Redford. So let's talk about Robert Redford, Hydra, the S.H.I.E.L.D. revelation. How did it affect you?
All of it, man. Because you don't see it coming. When I first saw this film, I didn't see any of this coming. I thought it was just going to be, he is fighting Hydra, and it's open. It's out in the open.
Yeah.
I didn't know how far it was, because when I saw that Robert Redford was cast to begin with, I was like, oh, that's cool. He'd be a good, side pilot person. But
Some
I
great
didn't know he
talent
was
they
going to be
attract to these movies.
the villain. I didn't know that they were going to pull it out. And, well, of course, I saw Bucky coming a mile away. But the way it plays out with Robert Redford and the way it's acted, the way that they have Black Widow play off of that last scene with him, and his best scene with Winter Soldier when he's in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And he has to kill the housekeeper.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I wish you had not.
That was, oh, shoot. Yeah. Man, I loved it.
Yeah. And like you said, it made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a better show.
It saved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a couple more seasons.
Hydra reveal. Pierce. How's it go? What do you think?
Well, I mean, it kept the action going, but I figured that S.H.I.E.L.D. was probably going to go at some point.
Yeah.
Especially considering, all the super, if all these super people are running around, how is an organization like S.H.I.E.L.D. going to function, in that kind of a world? It was all right. I didn't particularly, it didn't surprise me really.
Okay. So you saw it coming.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like that big of a deal. I totally knew Robert Redford from the first trailers. I knew he was a bad guy.
Oh,
I knew that. I knew it. I saw that coming. Here's what I want to ask about the Hydra thing, though. The Hydra reveal in this movie, it was a big deal. It made a big impact on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but did it have a big impact on the Marvel Cinematic Universe? It really feels like for S.H.I.E.L.D. to fall and Hydra to rise for that brief moment, the rest of the movies don't reflect that at all to
Civil
me.
War reflects that.
What, a little bit?
Civil War reflects it.
They seem to have recovered pretty quickly, haven't they?
They pretty did. Yeah, they did. Because DC was just shut down for a long time. I was trying to remember what other it has. Like,
I love it. Yeah,
effects.
I love the shit.
It's had it.
It happens in DC. I think a lot of it was filmed in Ohio, but it looks really cool.
It looks great. Oh yeah, the CG holds up for this film.
Oh, the CG really does.
It really does.
Even,
the building, when the building's getting hit by the helicarrier on the scene where Falcon's running and the guy that's going to be Crossbones is running with him.
Yes.
Oh, I love that scene. I usually I get mad at CG like that or over the top stuff like that. Like, you shouldn't have Falcon running in a crumbling building like that.
Yeah.
But it holds up. I like it. I still enjoy that film.
Crossbones. You mentioned him. Crossbones.
Yeah,
I like Brumlow in this movie.
Yeah, he was pretty intense. That
Just
whole
build
elevator scene.
Build him up.
That elevator scene.
Elevator scene's great.
Was so clean.
If any of you boys want to get out right now.
Shit.
Yeah.
I would have gotten out.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like it's time to go.
I'd be like, they want me to try to beat up Captain America? I don't care how many dudes are with me in this elevator.
That
I'm
was
out.
Captain America, right?
Okay. I just marked myself again with this thing. Can you believe that? Get this thing,
so
damn
happy,
thing away
man.
from me.
You were so happy with Pam.
Crossbones, this movie. You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. The only thing is, I think that it's a cool build-up to something that peters out very quickly in Civil War, but we'll get to that in several weeks. Black Widow. Black Widow hasn't had her own movie yet, but she has been in Iron Man 2, Avengers, and now Winter Soldier. I think this is one of her best roles yet. What do you think?
This is the
Avengers is dope.
I hate to say this.
Say it.
There is one that's above this one as far as her appearances. I like this appearance with her because she plays a great partner to Captain America.
Yes.
Like he needed that balance. And he needed to know, and they're like comrades. They're like real comrades in this film, and you can tell.
And it's not a sexual thing.
It's not at all.
It's not a romantic thing, and I love that. Like it's not like if this was a Thor movie.
yeah.
Right, and I love that.
But their chemistry works well.
Yes, it does.
And
because she's a different type than Cap.
Right, but
she's more jaded.
Yeah,
she understands like this is how things are.
Yeah.
But she also gets shaken up by all this.
And gets his first kiss, or his second kiss.
Right. I love that moment when she's in there when she's taking over Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
And she's there, and Pierce is like, you're letting out all this information about S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra, but all your information is a part of that. Are you willing to let everybody know who you really are? And she goes, are you? She didn't care about that.
No.
This is going to wreck her life and career. Mm-hmm. And she don't care at all. What do you think about Black Widow in this movie?
I really liked her. I've liked her in all the movies, but in this one she does get more of a spotlight on her, and it's like her entire world is basically being a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and it's like falling out from under her, and the only thing she has to hang on to is Captain America, who's pretty much in the same boat as she is. So it's really interesting. It really shows how heroic that character can be too.
Yeah, I think she does a great job in this movie.
She needs her own film.
Let's get to the big daddy here in this movie. This movie's called Winter Soldier for a reason. Sebastian Stan, who played James Buchanan Barnes, a.k.a. Bucky, in First Avenger, is back. He's still alive. Turns out Hydra had him. He's missing an arm. They give him a robot arm. In the comic books, it was the Communist Army, the Reds, back in the Cold War days. So they made it Hydra. I'm cool with that. But Winter Soldier is so awesome. He does exactly what Winter Soldier's supposed to do. He's badass. He's awesome. He is such a threat to Captain America. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Like all layers of reality. He's coming at Cap all at once. I feel it with every bit of Chris Evans' eyes and his acting. It's so real. It's so there. Sebastian Stan does a great job of just being bewildered. But there's something inside of him that remembers, and he's fighting. And I love this film so much.
Yeah.
I love him in this movie. What about Winter Soldier?
He's amazing. Like, all of his scenes, he's very intense. So I'm glad he's not, like, full on speaking on anything, but you don't know who he is until, I'm sorry, Steve doesn't know who he is until that mask comes off.
Oh, in that moment, though.
And the moment he's like, Bucky?
Because we know the whole damn time.
It's insane. And so, the film itself, because of what was portrayed with the Winter Soldier and what you want a villain to be, like in this film,
yeah,
he does that. He actually fits that bill at the beginning, and then Cap won't fight him. Cap refuses to really engage him because he doesn't know that, or he knows that Bucky is someone that he's cherished. That's his friend, his comrade, and he doesn't know how to. I love the bit
at the end when he's like, "I'm not going to fight you. I'm with you though to the end of the line."
line.
Because he's like, you're my mission. You're not my friend. I don't know you. You're my mission. Yeah. He's like, well, I'm not going to fight you. And he's like, well, I'm going to complete my mission. He's like, do it then. I'm with you till the end of the line. And a throwback to a line from the first Avenger. And it works so well. Winter Soldier in this movie, how's it work? Do you love that? Does it work for you, that thing?
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
It's crucial.
How he's the guy they bring in for, like, the super tough missions. Like,
right.
Like the guy that, if, like, Batroc the Leaper doesn't work for you, you have to go for the Winter Soldier. And how efficient he is, and how he almost, like, when he shows up, like, he just does each action, like, and everything, like, just works for him until, like, he runs across, and Cap is, like, the thing, like, you know, like, the only thing probably he's ever faced that's actually been able to stop him from completing his mission.
Yes. His toughest challenge yet on all levels.
He's like a human Terminator.
It seems like we have a pretty positive assessment of this movie. Let's get to the rankings. Out of a possible 5 ya digs, Jelani, how many ya digs do you give this movie?
You sure I can't give 6?
No, 5 is the utmost.
Then 5.
5 ya digs, perfect
5
score.
It's perfect score.
Just like Avengers, perfect score.
Yep.
Perfect score.
Perfect,
Why a perfect score?
It is. It's different from every Marvel movie that's come before it. It really was, and it shows how versatile this cinematic universe is, and what it can become, and where it's going right now. I love it, and the fact that you make a darker Captain America, it's not all roses and sunshine and good versus evil in this film, and it shows it so just beautifully. You don't have to tell me that. There's no narrator telling me that.
Yeah.
I'm watching this film, and you get all of it from beginning to end. And I love this film. There's one better for me. And
we'll get to that.
We'll get to it. 5.
All right. 5. 5 ya digs. What about you, Brooks? How many ya digs out of 5?
I give it a 4.5.
4.5 ya digs. Why?
Well, it's good. I mean, it's really good, but I don't think it's as good as the Avengers. Just slightly. I mean, there's like not much, but you know, I'd have to be in a certain mood to want to watch Winter Soldier. Whereas with the Avengers, like, it doesn't matter. I'd be willing to watch it whenever.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go right along with Brooks here again. 4.5 ya digs. 4.5. I love it. I think it's great.
Psychic bond.
Yes, we do. I don't think it's as good as Avengers.
I think it's as good as Avengers.
I don't think it's as good as the Avengers. It's not quite as fun, but it is okay.
I'll tell you why. Because I'm unlike you. I can watch either film at any time. Like if someone plays Winter Soldier in the background, when Sears was still around in our town, they played stuff on TV.
Yeah.
And this is a great example. I was in the store just to pick up something real quick and leave, and it was playing like in the little auto section. Just playing. Man, I just sat down and watched it, and I was like, hold my bag. I've got my stuff and I'm ready, and I'm just watching Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the film. I just want to see it. So, yeah, that's why I gave it 1.
Okay. I gave it 4.5 because I think it's a great film. I really do. I do think there's a handful more better. I think Avengers is one of them, but I think Winter Soldier is one of the strongest Marvel Cinematic Universe films. I think the Captain America series is one of the strongest series in the MCU. Absolutely. 4.5, 4.5, 5, an average of 4.6 4?
4 3/4.
Yeah, you do.
Sure.
Anyway, what do you rank Captain America Winter Soldier? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Next week, be sure to join us. We'll be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. The surprise smash success of the MCU. Super excited, so please do join us next week here on Movie Monday at Pop Culture Philosophers. And please do like, share, and subscribe. We do this every week. We also do a weekly comic book review, weekly pop culture wrap-ups, and podcasts. All that and more can be found at popculturephilosophers.com. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. This has been
Jelani Bullard.
This has been
Brooks.
We Are PCP. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Please do dig 'em, zug 'em, zig 'em, zig 'em, zig 'em, flizzum, when Captain America throws his mighty shield.
Someone's having a stroke.
Say.
Hold on.
Like 5 minutes ago, I looked at there and I couldn't see the red dot, and I got so worried that we weren't fucking recording it.
The battery died.
Remember that time we did a video and we weren't recording it?
Yes.
But we were recording.